The HQ NFL training camp tour took a stop in Kansas City Wednesday, where Patrick Mahomes and his squad are looking to bounce back after a dreadful showing in the Super Bowl against Philly. And our Evan Washburn has more.
Here in St. Joseph, Missouri, site of Chiefs training camp, where they're hard at work preparing for the 2025 season, but also working to put the feeling of that embarrassing Super Bowl loss in the rear view. Got to spend some time after practice with head coach Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And it's interesting. They view this roster as one that's in a bit of transition. Look, they have the key vets to lean on: Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones on the defensive side, to name a few. But they also need some young guys to step into big roles. None bigger than at left tackle position along the offensive line, an area of concern all of last year. Part of Patrick Mahomes being sacked a career-high 36 times. Well, the hope is that first-round pick Josh Simmons out of Ohio State can step into that left tackle position, and their early returns in camp have been strong. Another point of order for this offense: they want to find the big play again. Surprising, but Kansas City last season ranked near the bottom of the league in that category. It forced them to really grind out wins on the offensive side. Now, you never want to make too much of one practice, but this offense and Mahomes look like 2018 version, just chucking it all over the yard. For CBS Sports, I'm Evan Washburn.
Thanks, Evan. The common denominator between Kansas City's 2 Super Bowl losses: pressure on Patrick Mahomes. All-Pro guard Joe Thuney was forced into the left tackle spot last postseason, and the Eagles exposed him. Now, KC used their 2025 first-round pick to address the position, hoping that rookie Josh Simmons could be the answer. And with that, we bring in Sportsline analysts Larry Hartstein and Emory Hunt to discuss Kansas City's outlook for the year. And Larry, this team has revamped, retooled their offensive line after what took place in the Super Bowl alone. Do you feel the big dogs in the trenches are the biggest area of focus for you going into this season?
That's definitely the biggest issue for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And the great news about Josh Simmons looking like he's going to be ready to step in from day one. I mean, this guy fell to the end of the first round only because of his knee injury that he suffered in October. He would have been maybe a top 10 pick, and now he's recovered at an extremely fast rate. If he's ready to step in, which it looks like, Andy Reid says, well, I'm putting Jalen Moore, the guy that we signed for $30 million, I'm putting him at left guard. And what that does, that stabilizes the whole line. And then Kingsley Suamataia, who was not ready to play last year, the second rounder out of BYU, he was such a weakness last year. That puts him on the bench and gives the Chiefs a very good offensive line and allows, Patrick Mahomes to get the ball downfield, which we talked about, with all the speed that they have at wideout. So I'm loving the way it's looking right now.
Emory, you've watched Josh Simmons play at Ohio State, right? Obviously, he was injured with that injury, that knee injury. But when you look at Josh Simmons, how he's performed so far, how crucial is he to the success of this team?
Big time, because when you think about what they have on the interior with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, 2 of the best at their respective position, Simmons, when you watch him move, Chris and Larry, he looks like a tight end. And when you have that level of footwork and athleticism and mobility with a quarterback that does a great job in buying time in the pocket, it allows you to get creative in how you call your pass sets and how you attack a defense. And he can mirror and match with some of those more twitchier defensive edge rushers. So it helps keep the blind side protected. But it's the athleticism that opens up more creativity for Andy Reid. It wouldn't surprise me if he's fully healthy and he's out there starting somewhere around week 8 or 9. We may see him even catch a touchdown pass with the way Andy Reid draws up plays.
Hey, you never know, man, because Andy Reid, there are so many bags, so many tricks in his bags for this Kansas City offense. Now, let's get into a way to generate some extra cash in your pockets and our viewers. So what is your best futures bet, Emory, for Kansas City?
They win the West. I know.
What a surprise.
Exactly, right? We spent all spring and summer talking about the Chargers, talking about the Raiders, talking about the Sacramento Surge, everybody, right? But at the end of the day, it's Kansas City. They will win the West. As long as Patrick Mahomes is at quarterback, I don't see any other quarterback within that division, all respects to all of those guys, that can go toe-to-toe in a crucial situation and come out on top and win that ball game. So as long as Andy Reid is out there, as long as Patrick Mahomes is out there, and as long as his price is what it is, I'm laying this money with Kansas City.
I like that play, Emory. I'll go a little bit riskier and go plus 110 for the Chiefs to go over 11.5 wins, which they basically do every year. Patrick Mahomes has gone 11 wins just once. Every other season that he has started, they have won 12 or more games. Andy Reid has been with Kansas City for 12 seasons. 10 times he has gone over their win total. And you look at the schedule up on the screen, not an easy schedule by any means, but only 7 true road games because they open the season in Brazil, and that's officially a road game for the Chiefs. So I love that. I love the fact that Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy should all be on the field together. They weren't on the field much at all last year. That's going to open up the passing game. And the last thing is what they were able to do defensively, keeping Nick Bolton, keeping Charles Omenihu, signing Christian Fulton. As lucky as Kansas City was to win 15 games last year, they probably should have won 11 based on the win probabilities and some of the breaks that went their way. I love them to get at least 12 this year.
Yeah, I definitely can see that coming. 2 smart bets by 2 smart guys. Emory Hunt, Larry Hartstein. Always appreciate the insight. And so, look at this. Kansas City, 2 division titles away from tying the Patriots for most consecutive division titles all time. It has been an incredible run of success for this squad, and it doesn't look like they're going to slow down anytime soon. Coming up, we get a report from Cowboys camp. Is Big D poised for a big bounce-back season? Larry and Emory have the answer next on HQ.